Welcome back to the channel and to Keighley Golf Club for the first of the 2023 Break Par series. I have played this course a few times before and it's treated me reasonably well, apart from the last few holes which have been diabolical. I've paid £30 English to play here this time around, and if we're being honest, not sure I'd like to pay that again, but let me know what you think of that price, simply because there were 16 mats, although they were pretty decent. Another new thing, as I smash this drive down the middle and lose my balance, I have put a rag rating, so red, amber, green, in the scorecard overlay on the right hand side at the start of the hole to tell you how difficult I think the hole is and what my chances are. So the first is red because it's 420 odd yards, downhill but into the wind, and it shows because I've hit a decent drive and still got 170 into this flag, and I've just leaked the ball right and lost my concentration as the camera fell over. Awkward lie here and all running away from me downhill to the flag, so I decided to putt, and I'm very happy with that and should clean up for par. So yes, the rag ratings. Red equals I'd be happy to make par. Green, which I've got here, is, although this is a par 3, it's very short, so I would like to think that I've got a good chance of making a birdie here with just a chippy wedge in hand. Not after that though, that is crap. That is the worst swing I'll make all day more than likely, and I've somehow left it short right in this bunker, and I've got a lot of work to do to make par. Do back myself out of these bunkers though, although no practice range, no net to even have a swipe in, so I've gone in cold. That's a bit annoying. Did have a few putts, but that's about it, and we'll need it here. Straight up the hill, very slow. Alas, that's a missed putt and the first bogey of the day. Get it out the way early, let's think. Right then, first par 5 and only one on the front 9, only 2 on the course at par 69. And this is a green light hole. Should be tearing up these par 5s because it's not long. And I've hit the middle of the fairway and spun the club like I think I am someone, and I'm not, I'm a nobody. No rollout though, it's very wet out there, which sort of explains why there's quite a lot of the mats around. So 5 iron from 190, pins at the back left. That's not good. I've pulled that towards that lone tree and now I've short-sided myself, and I'm actually underneath it and my knuckles could get destroyed here. Just going to have to try and stab this with no follow-through. And I thought just on the green would be good here, and I've done a very good job and I'm extremely happy. Little downhiller from right to left from my position. Again though, not enough respect for the break there and I've missed it. So unfortunately only a par, but I'll take it, I don't mind that. So I've given this 383 yard par 4 an amber rating simply because it's quite a tight tee shot. You do not want to go right, and then there's a huge false front on the green, so you don't want to miss short. So that's why I've opted for 3 wood, and I've hit a very nice tee shot there, and that's another fairway. Pretty much perfect position here. Pin's front left and the tree is overhanging, so definitely don't want to be left of this flag. So what am I going to do? I'm going to play it safe. Not intentionally, I was aiming at the flag, but I don't mind missing a little bit right there, and we have a putt for birdie. Uphill, about 18 feet, very slow and right to left again. Giving that a good whack. Surprised to say that I got it to the hole, but slightly underread it again, and just a par, but not too bad. And this is the hardest hole on the course. A sweeping dogleg to the right and then left with OB over those trees on the right, so you don't want to go there. So I'm hitting my patented cut off the left trees, which I've done, ever so slightly overdone it, but it's actually still held the fairway, which is a good shot in my opinion, and that'll give us an opportunity on this hole. After what turned out to be a perfect tee shot then, we only have 137 to this flag, and it's back right, which makes it a bit difficult from this hanging lie. And I think I've hit a decent one. You can't actually see the bottom of the flag here, but I'm on the green, although a long way away. So this is all going to be about pace, and it's quite a bit of right to left, so I'm aiming a good 3 feet right here, and I've given it a thrape. But I've still not given it enough, and this is the first real test for par, although I did make bogey earlier. But I've made it, and I'm happy with that, and on to the next, and this is another red hole, 459 yards, downhill, but straight into what little breeze there is, and this is an absolute monster. Just be happy to survive the next few holes because they are all pretty hard. But it does help that the driver's on form, and I've piped that one down the middle, although it's gone absolutely nowhere, and we still have 195 in here. And the pin is tucked away again on the left-hand side, so I'm aiming right centre of the green and just trying to sort of hit a draw, and if it goes straight, it might make the green. But I pushed it ever so slightly, but not too much of an issue. I've got plenty of green to work with here, and I've just come up short, so first real opportunity to have a chip today. Let's see what I can do. This is a 52-degree wedge. Checked up nicely, but a little bit aggressive. Don't mind it though. Watched it go past the hole. So this is probably just a left lip putt and 4 feet for par. This would be a nice confidence boost. Trickled in. Very happy with that. And we move on to 7 at 1 over. So this is not as long, slightly uphill, but quite a tight tee shot with the river starting to run down the right hand side. And that really comes into play in the next couple of holes. Patented fade off the left trees again. Nearly overdone it. Missed the fairway right, but never mind. We're actually in a perfectly nice position, although it's a bit wet. So pin again is at the back. Can't really tell exactly where. But we're just going straight at it. We've only got 120 yards, so it's a little 50-degree in there. Pulled it ever so slightly, but shouldn't really be an issue. I feel like it would still be on the green, but actually pin was back left, so I'm just on the fringe here. Just a little bump on with the 56-degree. Go in! Ooh! Decent effort that. Thought it might go in for a little while, but should clean up for the par save, which I have. Another decent par. And then on to hole 8. Only 2 holes left and could do with a birdie. That would be nice just to settle things. This is another fairly short par 3 and just a wedge in hand. Although it's a pretty mental green, this. Very thin at the front and slopes massively from back to front as well. So you don't want to miss short here. And I've done a good job, but look where I'm aiming this. This is downhill and a massive left to right break. So it's a bit of a prod and hope. Oh yeah, on a fist pump. That was a bit unnecessary, but very good. Take a 2 there all day long. And on to the last hole of today's video. The river is running down the right, so anything to the right of these trees or anything off the left hand side of them is dangerous. So just a 4 iron. And I've hit an absolute beauty, and I don't want that one back ever. That's right in the middle of the fairway. Now we only have 116 yards into this flag. Definitely don't want to be missing it right because it's on the right hand side. So take your medicine and aim it 10 feet left. Which I've done perfectly. And we should have a makeable uphill putt, and this is about as straight as it's going to get on this hole. 16 feet up the hill. Had to give it a smack, and it's in! That's 2 on the trot for a 34 and 1 under. And that's a great start if I'm going to be looking to break par here. Hope you like that scorecard. Here comes the analysis. So we've got fairways in regulation, greens in regulation, birdies, pars, bogeys, doubles, the number of putts I've had, and what my overall rating was. So I hit 6 out of 7 fairways, and one of them was only just off, so very happy. Only 4 greens, which isn't spectacular, but I did manage to make 2 birdies, which is good. Not too happy with the bogey, but did make some decent putts. 13 putts overall is class, so I'm giving myself a 9 because I'm very pleased with that. See you next week for part 2. Bye!